Hello Bambinos, this is going to be week 2 of the CDL, which is the Series 12 VGC draft league that I'm in. I thought this was a Wi-Fi league, but apparently not. It's just down to coach discretion, what they want to play on, and my opponent said they couldn't get genned in time this week, which is unfortunate, but what I'm going to do is some post-comms here of the replays, and hopefully that'll do the trick for you. So this is game 1. With the matchup, I thought that Moltres went in hard versus him. But he didn't bring Giratina, Latios, or Holucha, which were part of the reason why I thought Moltres went in hard, other than the Rillaboom. He did bring both his fairies, which is very counter Moltres, so maybe my opponent did notice this as well. So with this information here, what I know, what he has brought, I'm going to lead Salazzle and Moltres. I'm going to lead the Salazzle because this threatens the fairies if he does lead fairies into my Moltres, and also I can fake out the Zamazenta if it leads, because obviously it can't max, so it's a safe fake out. So yeah, we're just going to go into this and playing it on slow. Hopefully I can keep up with what's going on and get into game 1. So I lead Moltres and Salazzle. They lead the Rillaboom and the Zamazenta. And immediately we find that the Rillaboom is Grassy Seed, goes +1 defense, which is fine here. We're both special attackers. I Dynamax Moltres, turn 1, and he protects the Rillaboom on the fake out, probably. But I actually fake out the Zamazenta, which is just free because it can't max, and go for the Airstream straight into that Rillaboom. The fact that it protected isn't too much of an issue. I just got the speed boost that I wanted, so now both of my mons will be faster than the Zamazenta, which is faster than what I've got. I go for a Heat Wave, which narrowly misses out on the kill on Rillaboom, but does pick up the burn on Zamazenta, which is huge. And then I go for another Airstream just to pick off the Rillaboom and make us very, very fucking fast right now. The Zamazenta goes for the Behemoth Bash into my Max Moltres, which only does about 26% because it's burned, but that would have been a big hit otherwise. Now in comes the Primarina, which I guess is going to max here. So I go for the Helping Hand Airstream into it, which only does about 50%, and it didn't max, so that would have done nothing if it maxed. So I feel like it should have maxed, but Zamazenta goes for the Psychic Fans into Salazzle, which doesn't kill because of the burn, and a Moonblast into Moltres, which with Roselli Berry still doesn't take me over the 50% mark, so I still haven't got my Berserk yet, and my max is now ended. So now I am kind of scared of this Primarina maxing. I go for the Protect, predicting it to max, and hit a Heat Wave, but I missed the Zamazenta, which could very well have picked up the kill there. He goes for a second Psychic Fangs, which kills the Salazzle, and a Moonblast into the Moltres. Obviously, I protected. So that was unfortunate that I missed the Heat Wave, but with the recovery that it's getting from the grassy terrain, I now bring in Necrozma and Air Slash Primarina. He goes for a Behemoth Bash into the Necrozma, which I thought was interesting, not very effective, does no type of damage. And I go for a Flash Cannon into the Prim. I wanted to get rid of the Prim. I'm not scared of the Zamazenta at all since it's burned. So that's why I just doubled into the Primarina. I'm not sure why I didn't max the Primarina there. But then in comes the Togekiss, and I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely going to max. So I go for a Snarl just to chip it down. But it doesn't max, so now it's at -1. And he goes for another Bash into Moltres, which still doesn't kill, puts me in Berserk range. And I go for the Earth Power into the Zamazenta, which kills it off. And we're now left with just this -1 Togekiss, which goes for a Thunder Wave into Necrozma. He's now -1, hasn't maxed. I guess just decides there's no point maxing here. He's at -2 now. Goes for the Air Slash into Moltres, which doesn't even pick up the kill. I get fully powered there, which isn't too much of an issue, because as we'll see next turn, just doubling into this is very safe. I don't need to protects. I get one flinch there, which is kind of lucky, but I guess he would only really have picked off the Moltres there. I still had Raikou in the back, because Raikou and Necrozma in the back was super safe into a fairy lead. So if I led Moltres Salazzle and he led one of his fairies, I probably wouldn't have maxed Moltres and just gone for Snarls just to take his damage down, and then max Necrozma in the back with Raikou being able to hit Togekiss or Primarina if I needed to. So we take game 1, 3-0, only Salazzle goes down. And we'll go head on straight over to game 2. Now, after game 1, seeing that he brought both his fairies, I decide that I'm probably not going to max Moltres here. I'm going to go for a Necrozma max with Trick Room with Dusknoir. So I lead I believe I lead Necrozma and Salazzle, so I can get a fake out Trick Room off if I need to, with Necrozma and Moltres in the back. I switch out Raikou for Dust Noir to try and get the Trick Room off. So we'll go straight into game 2 and see what they lead. They lead Rillaboom and Audino this time. I'm not really sure why Audino, I guess it's especially defensive for the Moltres. But yeah, this time we immediately see that there's a Mental Herb on the Audino. Fake out into the Rillaboom, but it does protect on the fake out, which is fair enough. And Audino actually goes for a Trick Room itself as I immediately reverse it. So we both want Trick Room up, which immediately lets me know that I think Turtonator is in the back. So I go for a Sludge Bomb into Rillaboom, which again narrowly misses out on the KO. As Rillaboom goes for an Earthquake, I'm not sure exactly why he's running Earthquake, when Grassy Terrain obviously halves the damage. If he'd have been high horsepower, he definitely would have picked up the kill on Salazzle there, although I was actually Sash, so he wouldn't have, but he would have brought me to Sash. As Audino gets a light screen up, and I get a Will-O-Wisp off on this Rillaboom, I'm now thinking that I don't want to knock out the Rillaboom because I want to try and waste some of these turns of light screen, because Moltres and Necrozma in the back are actually special. I'm a special Necrozma this week because I know Turtonator has a really high Fizz Def. So I went for special with Earth Power, as well as Zamazenta. I didn't want to go for a physical Necrozma into the Zamazenta. I want to try and waste some of these light screen turns before bringing in my max option, or he brings in his max option. So here I switch out into Moltres expecting another Earthquake, as he goes for Grassy Glide to try and pick off the Salazzle, but does very little to us. And I go for a Will-O-Wisp onto Audino just for some passive damage, because I don't want to just give him a free switch in. So he goes for Trick Room here. He gets the Trick Room up. We find out that the Audino is Healer, which heals the burn on Rillaboom, which isn't a massive problem. He then hard switches into Turtonator here. I go for a Protect, expecting a hit from something here. And I go for the Skitter Smack into the Rillaboom just to pick it off. So he's now got Zamazenta in, which is the fastest thing on the field. So you've got Trick Room up for Zamazenta. I bring in a Salazzle to sack it, expecting Turtonator to hit into the Moltres. So I just sack the Salazzle here. The attack drop isn't a massive issue. I go for another Will-O-Wisp into Zamazenta. So that's burned as well. Not really a threat anymore at all. Goes for the Bash into Dusknoir. It doesn't do too much. We're max defense. And we're getting that nice heals from the Terrain. Terrain ends. 2 more turns of Trick Room. I figure it's pretty safe to just max here, because with my ability I can take any hit from Turtonator. That does 39% to us, and the sun is now up. Activates our weakness policy. We do a Skitter Smack into Turtonator just to lower its special attack 1 again. And the max Quake into Turtonator does a massive chunk, 72%. Boosts our Spadef, but he's weakness policy, which is interesting. And now Zamazenta goes for a Bash into the Dusknoir. So at this point I'm thinking the sun is up. He's at +1 thanks to his weakness policy. With the sun up and +1, I'm probably not going to take this hit on the Necrozma, so I go for a max guard here and try and go for another Skitter Smack just to bring that back down to neutral. But this is also, I think it's going to be the last turn of Trick Room. I think I paused it at the wrong point here. So here we are on the last turn, yeah, right. So this is the last turn of Trick Room. I go for the max guard. As Turtonator fires a flare into my max guard, does no damage. I go for another Skitter Smack, but actually miss, which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't think it's a massive deal since Trick Room is about to end. The Zamazenta goes for another Bash into Dusknoir, bringing us down to, I don't know, like 40%, 36% says right there. His max ends, and mine doesn't. I go for the Skitter Smack. I don't really know why, I just didn't think I'd have much else to do with Dusknoir there. Another Bash into Dusknoir won't kill us, and another Quake into Turtonator will pick up the kill on Turtonator. So now, my Necrozma's looking very healthy, with +2 Spadef. The sun is up in front of the Zamazenta. As Audino comes back in, I'm not really sure what Audino can do here, but he goes for Psychic Fangs to pick up the kill on Dusknoir, as I hit a +2 Heatwave in the sun, which will just pick off the Zamazenta and do a massive chunk to the Audino. Audino goes for a Flamethrower in the sun, but with my +2 Spadef, it only does 13%, which I thought was kind of crazy. But now with Moltres finally coming out, I can just keep doubling into this Audino and handily pick it off to win game 2 2-0 and the set 2-0. So we're now 2-0 in the CDL. We've got a big test next week against one of the other 2-0 teams. So come back for that one, and hopefully I'll bring you some more Wi-Fi content in the CDL in the future. So thanks for watching. Leave what you thought of the battle in the comments, and see you later, nerds.